Now question number 30 in module 2. While researching a topic, a student has taken the following notes. The Haudenosaunee Confederacy is a nearly 1,000-year-old alliance of 6 native nations in the northeastern US. The members are bound by a centuries-old agreement known as the Great Law of Peace. Historian Bruce Johansen is one of several scholars who believe that the principles of the Great Law of Peace influenced the US Constitution. This theory is called the influence theory. Johansen cites the fact that Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson both studied the Haudenosaunee Confederacy. The student wants to present the influence theory to an audience unfamiliar with the Haudenosaunee Confederacy. Which choice most effectively uses relevant information from the notes to accomplish this goal? So, which do you think is the best answer? So, if you said C, that is the best answer. Congratulations, very good. So, choice C is the best answer. This says the influence theory holds that the principles of the Great Law of Peace, a centuries-old agreement binding 6 native nations in the northeastern US, influenced the US Constitution. The sentence effectively presents the influence theory to an audience unfamiliar with the Haudenosaunee Confederacy. So, even if you do not know what is Haudenosaunee Confederacy, you will be able to understand about the influence theory. And explaining the theory's position that the Great Law of Peace influenced by the US Constitution while avoiding mention of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy itself. And then A is incorrect. This one just says historian Bruce Johansen believes that the Great Law of Peace was very influential. This sentence broadly emphasizes Johansen's ideas about the Great Law of Peace. It doesn't identify the influence theory or effectively present it. B says the influence theory is supported by the fact that Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson both studied the Haudenosaunee Confederacy. This sentence emphasizes one fact that supports the influence theory. It doesn't effectively present the theory to an audience unfamiliar with the Haudenosaunee Confederacy. This just talks about Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson and Haudenosaunee. So, according to the question, we need the student has to present the influence theory to an audience unfamiliar with this Haudenosaunee Confederacy. That cannot be done with an answer like B. Then D is incorrect. This one says native people, including the members of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, influenced the founding of the US in many different ways. This is incorrect. The sentence makes a broad generalization about the native people's influence on the founding of the US. It doesn't effectively present the influence theory. So that is very broad, just some generalization has been mentioned in this one.